playing Boros Convoke. Is this deck still as good as it was a while ago? This deck is trying to put as many creatures as possible into play as fast as possible. And then, once you have those creatures in play, you can kick a Goblin Bushwacker to give all of those creatures +1/+0 and haste until end of turn. Basically one-shotting your opponent with 10, 12, 15 creatures at a time. The way to get as many creatures as possible in play is by playing lots of artifacts for Memnite, for Ornithopter, and cards that produce artifacts, like Novice Inspector, Thraben Inspector, basically the same card, just a different name, and for Voldaren Epicure. Epicure pings the opponent and creates a blood token. You can target any of these artifacts with 4 Gleeful Demolition or 4 Kudoltha Rebirth. Gleeful Demolition allows you to destroy an artifact, and if you control that artifact, you could create 3 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. Be aware that you can also target your opponent's artifacts, in case they have something in play that's obstructing you from comboing off. Kudoltha Rebirth makes you sacrifice your own artifact, and then you get to put those 3 1/1 goblin creature tokens in play. Kudoltha Rebirth is often the stronger one of the two, because if you cast your Gleeful Demolition and they destroy your artifact instead, let's say you target a Memnite and they cast a Galvanic Discharge on your Memnite, you don't get the 3 goblin creature tokens. With Kudoltha Rebirth, as part of the cost, you sacrifice an artifact, in this case Memnite, and they cannot interact with that, so you would get your goblin creature tokens unless they counter your spell. Furthermore, you play 8 Convoke creatures. You play 4 Knight Errant of Eos. With a Convoke mechanic, you get to tap creatures to pay part of the cost or the complete cost. When this enters, you can basically refill your hand, because you get to pick 2 creature cards from the top 6 of your library, and you play 36 creatures, so you almost always find the 2 creatures that you get to put in your hand. Venerated Loxodon also uses Convoke, but you get to put +1/+1 counters on the creatures that helped paying for the cost using Convoke. So this basically pumps your creatures more, which is quite relevant if you're facing a Bowmasters. Because if they flash in a Bowmasters, they get to ping your 1/1 and possibly block 2 other ones. This deck also plays 4 Warden of the Inner Sky. This is a perfect addition to the deck. You can pump this Warden of the Inner Sky by tapping 3 untapped artifacts and/or creatures, and you basically create many creatures, and you always have 1 or more artifacts in play. You get to put the +1/+1 counter on Warden, and you get to scry 1. The only downside is that you only get to do this as a sorcery. But you can make this Warden of the Inner Sky really big, really quickly, and also beat down your opponent that way. At some point, if there are 3 or more counters on it, it even gets Flying and Vigilance. Vigilance is relevant because after combat you could still use Warden to Convoke, to pay for Convoke. The mana base, 4 Arid Mesa, 2 Bloodstained Mire, so really 6 fetch lands that could get mountains, 3 Inspiring Vantage, 3 Sacred Foundries, and 4 Sunbaked Canyon. In case you flood a bit, you could sack this to draw a card. Personally, I think this mana base could benefit from a basic Plains at least, in case you're facing Blood Moon. Blood Moon is really good hate against this deck, because it doesn't play any basics, so you only get to play your red spells. But you have quite a number of white spells in here. And then with Harbinger being more and more popular, maybe you also want to have at least one mountain, basic mountain in there. I don't think this deck could support a Surveil land because you just want to go fast, and maybe you should even have a Gemstone Caverns in there. Sideboard wise, pretty straightforward. 2 Boros Charm, mostly to protect your creatures from board wipes. 3 Containment Priest, could be useful against Yawgmoth or Reanimator decks. 3 Leonin Relic Warder, not too sure about this card. You get to exile an artifact or enchantment with it, but if they can get rid of this, they just get that artifact or enchantment back again. 4 Silences, mostly against control or combo decks. This could buy you a turn to possibly combo off the next turn. And then 3 Wear and Tears, just to deal with Urza's Sagas or artifacts that are obstructing your game plan, like Damping Sphere, stuff like that. Is it still as good as it was before? Let's find out. We on the play, and that's what we want with this deck. Yeah, let's keep. We'll lead on the Thraben. Turn 2, cast another Thraben Warden. Maybe we should have led on the Warden actually. That was kind of a punt, because then we could have attacked with the Warden with counters on it, but okay. From there an Epicure. Yeah. Epicure is good. Ping our opponent, create a blood token, go Warden. We need a 3rd land ideally. We will tap, tap, tap. Loxodon. Now let's bottom that. Attack, pass. Opponent finds a Triome, might be some control deck. So we should be wary of a Wrath of the Skies. Opponent casts a Tameo and surveils. Let's open up their graveyard. They surveil a Flooded Strand into the yard. Okay. Memnite. So we could keep growing the Warden. Memnite Thraben, 1, 2, 3, 4. Knight Errant. Yeah, let's do that. Thraben. Memnite. Let's... yeah, we're not gonna scry first. Let's convoke here. See what we get off of this knight. Another Bushwacker, Ornithopter, Epicure. Since we already have a Bushwacker, let's take the Epicure. I want to overcommit here. Really need a 3rd land. Yep, there it is. So Warden still doesn't have Vigilance. But We'll swing. Opponent likely won't block. They have a Solitude. Okay. Pitching a Flage. That's fine. They're going after the Warden. Next turn we're dealing 2, 4, 6, 8, 13, 14, 16, 18. Can deal quite some damage next turn. Lethal possibly. Opponent is thinking. Plays a polluted Delta. Might have another Flage. That would be pretty good. If they do go to combat, they are likely dead. They are going to fetch. Yep, they have a Flage. They deal 3 to the Thraben Inspector, okay. They don't go attack. Let's just cast the Ornithopter. Get a basic off of this fetch land. We don't have basics, then we have to shock in a Sacred Foundry. In a Sacred Foundry we will cast this Epicure, being our opponent. Opponent will likely cast Flage next turn. We gotta be aggressive here. Here we go. Alright, no cards in hand. Opponent might block the Knight Errant and then get the Flage back. Three cards in hand. They don't. Okay. So they might not have that fourth land. Down to 2. And they scoop. Alright. So up against Jeskai control-ish. Silences are probably good. Go down to Loxodon. 1 Ornithopter, 1 Memnite. Now we need them as targets. Let's go down Novice, Thraben. We are on the draw now and we find some good stuff. Let's keep. We will lead on the Epicure. Ping our opponent. We will hold on to the Memnite. Opponent fetches their Triome again. Likely deciding whether they want to keep Counterspell up, hold Counterspell up. Thunder Trap Trainer. Maybe we should have led on the Warden actually. Flame of Anor. Yeah, that's fine. Should we hold mana up for silence? I'd say so. Shock this in. Cast the Warden. Memnite. Grow the Warden. Rather cast the Loxodon. Convoke. And pass the turn. Cannot activate Warden, unfortunately. Opponent might have a Wrath, but it wouldn't hit our Loxodon. They will likely cast their Flame of Anor. Dealing 5 to the Loxodon, drawing 2 cards. Play a basic Plains. There's Flame of Anor. Yep, they deal 5 and they draw 2. Might draw into a Solitude. They don't attack. Find their Rebirth. Let's play this Bloodstained Mire. We will Rebirth the Memnite. We'll activate the Warden with the 3 new Goblin tokens. Bushwacker is good, we'll leave that so we won't fetch. And let's just swing here. In our opponent's upkeep we will use Silence. Doesn't seem like they have a Solitude here. They don't even block, alright. So let's cast the Silence in their upkeep. See what happens. Might counter this, but But it's basically a skip a turn. We'll kick that Goblin Bushwacker and then... Ah, they scoop. We are on the play. This hand is a keep. Fetch shock, go epicure. Yep. Bloodstained Mire. Fetch. And shock. Epicure. And pass. Opponent plays a Flooded Strand and passes. Alright. We will try to sack the blood token here. That worked. We will swing with the Epicure. And we will likely go Loxodon now. And let's bump the Ornithopter. The next turn we will go Knight Errant, possibly. Or just keep swinging for lethal. Alright. And pass the turn. Turn 2. We have 6, 7, 8, 12 power in play. Opponent is surveilling. Goes for an Overlord. Hopefully we're trying to find Solitude. They don't. You get the Skyclave Apparition, sure. Bushwacker would be lethal here. Find another Rebirth. We could get 3, 4. Yeah. So we will swing with the team. Deal a bunch of damage here. Opponent down to 5. Cast a Memnite. Rebirth. Okay, opponent scoops. This could be pretty good with the flicker effects. Wear Tear for the Overlords. Go down Venerated Loxodons. 1 Novice, 1 Thraben. One Warden. 1 more Loxodon. Sure. Waiting for opponent to decide. Yep, they're on the play. This is Ornithopter Rebirth 3. Yeah, let's keep this. They might Thoughtseize us. Take the Ornithopter. No. Cast a Vial. Okay, we find a Sacred Foundry. Let's just go Arid Mesa and pass. Opponent puts a charge counter on the vial. Plays a swamp. Might cast Ophelia. Wall of Omens, alright. That's fine. Drawing a card. Down to 5 cards though. Sacred Foundry tapped. Let's see, a Bushwacker, okay. We'll go Inspiring Vantage, Ornithopter. Galata Rebirth. On the Ornithopter. Could also destroy the Aether Vial. Might have been a better play. Let's do that right now. Yep, and pass. Should have actually played that turn 1, of course. Wasn't really thinking about using a Gleeful Demolition on the Aether Vial, unfortunately. What do they maul into the yard? They took the Wall of Omens, okay. Find a Sunbaked Canyon. Think we should Knight Errant here. Let's see what we find. Need some more power. Containment Priest is good. It's a bit too late for that though. And a Warden. Let's take the Containment Priest and the Warden. And we will just play the Warden. Cannot activate it. We're kind of 1 turn behind because we didn't use the Gleeful Demolition turn 1. That would have been the better play for sure. They push the Warden, okay. Down to 4 cards. They probably have Ophelia. We could just block that. Otherwise we have our Containment Priest. Another Wall of Omens, that's good news. They shock in a Witch Blessed Meadow, okay. Ah, We could destroy this overlord here. It's probably pretty good. There you go, overlord. I'll just swing. They probably flash in Ophelia blocking a goblin token. Oh, bowmasters, okay. That is pretty good. They take out some of our tokens. Are they blocking though? They are not. Just blocking one of the goblin tokens, okay. Just play the Sacred Foundry tapped. We have our Containment Priest if to try to Ophelia, Orcish Bowmasters or the Wall of Omens. Surveil might have a Solitude in hand. Flicker Wisp. Okay. What are they going to exile? Wall of Omen, sure. Wall of Omens. Could shock this, or could flash this in, but they might have Fatal Push. Well, let's just do it anyway. Make them use their Fatal Push. Yep, there it is. Okay. That's fine. Down to one card in hand. We take one. Pick up a Knight Errant. Yeah, let's swing with our Knight Errant here. They block, okay. Down one creature. We will cast this. Here we go. Ornithopter. Epicure. Sunbay Canyon. Could go Epicure right now. No, let's not do that. We'll just pass. Might hardcast a Solitude now, or hardcast an Overlord. Okay. That was what was in their hand. No, they just drew that. Cast a Solitude. Getting rid of our Knight Errant, okay. Swing for 4. Might be dead now. Find another Knight Errant. Cast the Ornithopter Epicure. We will ping them. They are down to 9. Kick this Goblin Bushwacker. Attack for 2, 4, 5, 10, 12. Opponent will likely block the Knight Errant. and then take quite some damage. Could get the Solitude back next turn. I think we have to load up on more creatures here. Could hard cast the Solitude next turn though. Yeah, let's just YOLO. Let's just go Ornithopter, Epicure. Knight Errant. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Another Bushwacker, that's great. We'll pick up the Memnite too. So we will go Memnite. And then Bushwacker kicked. They would have to block. Otherwise they die. Otherwise they die, they have to block. Here. Yep, they scoop. We are on the play, but we don't really have any threats. Let's maul. This is better. Let's bottom the Sunbay Canyon. We will keep this. We will shock in the Bloodstained Mire. Shock in the Sacred Foundry, I should say. Go Novice Inspector. Pass the turn. Opponent fetches a Plains, casts a Guide of Souls, okay. We will go Kudalta Rebirth on the Clue token. Play the Sunbay Canyon, cast a Knight Errant. We are taking quite some damage here. Hopefully we can find a Bushwacker. Well, we definitely need the Thraben for other Gleeful Demolition, and we'll just take another Warden. And we will pass. See what our opponent does. He just passed the turn. Interesting. I think we should just start swinging with the Knight Errant, see whether our opponent blocks. Solitude, okay. Pitching another Solitude. Do they have an Ephemerate? Roll back. Okay, they forgot to target. We will still swing with the Knight Errant. They cast a Solitude, pitching Solitude. They target the Knight Errant, we gain 4 life. Okay. So let's see, opponent still has 2 mana up possibly. I think we could go Mem Knight for sure. Thraben. And let's go Warden too. Activate Warden. Maybe first fetch and shock here. We have our Gleeful Demolition up. Let's start pumping the Warden. Clue, Thraben, no, Clue, Mem Knight, Goblin. Ornithopter, no. Goblin, Goblin, Thraben. Novice Inspector, no. We will Demolition the Clue token, since the Mem Knight is more useful. I'll repeat the Warden thing. Gleeful Demolition. Could do that to the Mem Knight. Activate Warden again. Can deal a lot of damage that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not sure if this Warden is going to live. Let's bottom this and just pass. Opponent is fetching. Surveils. So they are not Boros. Play a Temple Garden tapped. And a Birthing Ritual, okay. Not sure if they play a Johnny or other 2-drops. They don't sack their creature. We find a Bushwacker. I think this is game. Let's kick it. Oh, tapped the wrong land. It's fine. There we go. Swing. That's lethal. 20 power in itself, 25. Yep. Opponent is dead. Containment priests are good. The wear tears against the birthing ritual. Might board in wrath, board in the charms. We will go down on the Loxodon. And maybe one Memnite, one Novice, one Kudolta. Another Memnite. Let's try this. Maybe we oversideboarded. We have a one lander here. I think we could keep, since we're on the draw. Windswept Heat, find Boros Charm. Let's fetch and shock, and we will get our Thraben out. Thraben taps for white if we find a Knight Errant. Really need that artifact. That's why we lead on the Thraben. Could have also gone Epicure. Opponent surveilled. Planes into the yard. Okay. White Orchid Phantom. That's funny because we have no basics. Not sure why this deck would not run any basics. Okay. Yep, that is game, I guess. Cast the birthing ritual. Swing. Yep. Enduring Innocence. Yeah, we're kind of stuck here. Let's swing with our Thraben, they won't block. I think this is the end of it. Have to draw some more land. Opponent has 4 mana available. Voice of Resurgence. Another birthing ritual. Yeah, let's concede. This deck really needs to play some basics. We saw issues with Harbinger, with White Orchid Phantom. Didn't seem like they boarded in 8 board wipes. So we'll just get the Novice back and the Memnite and submit. Again, a one-lander here. This would only be good if we draw a second land. I think we should maul. This looks better. Can lead on the Inspector, Gleeful Demolition, the artifacts, go Warden, and then Bushwacker after. So we will put back the Sunbay Canyon. Inspiring Vantage, Novice Inspector. Well, it might have been better to lead on the Warden, because then the Warden could have attacked. That's fine. Guide of Souls, okay. Thraben Inspector. Let's cast the Warden. Activate it. Gleeful Demolition. The Clue and activate it again. Another Warden. We don't need that. Kudolta Rebirth. Could go Thraben, Kudolta Rebirth. Yeah, let's keep that. Hopefully no White Orchid Phantom again. Ocelot Pride, that's fine. You gain a cat token and 1 life. So let's go Thraben, create a clue. We will tap clue and the goblin tokens. Epicure, nope. Rebirth, the clue. Tap the goblin tokens. Memnite. Could be one more attacker for the Bushwacker. They likely get another cat. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Could keep it if they White Orchid Phantom our lands, then kind of screwed. I think I'd rather play it safe and just bottom this. Could activate it again. Putting all our eggs into one basket though, but Ornithopter, no. Same problem. Let's attack for 6 and pass. They surveil 1 and keep a card on top. Birthing Ritual, sure. Would have to sack the Pride or the Guide. They attack with the cat token. Why? Why would they? I think we'll just let this happen. Gonna go try to find another Pride. Is that right? Do sack the cat. Find another Guide of Souls, okay. Cure. Could start swinging for a lot of damage here. Think we should. There we go. Let's attack. With 18 plus 7 is 25 power. Do get a plains. Is it Path to Exile, perhaps? Okay, they're blocking with the guide. Okay. It's the flare. It's an ephemerate. Okay. Not sure. Wouldn't really save them, I guess. Well, they gain 2 more life. This is lethal, right? Yep, alright. Aggro deck. Warden, Memnite. This doesn't seem to be it. Loxodon is kind of dead. Bushwacker kind of dead. Let's maul. This looks better. I think we want to have access to our land, so let's just shock in Sacred Foundry, lead on the Thraben. Go Rebirth, turn 2 and then Loxodon. Opponent also mauled Thraben. Pass. Shock in a breeding pool. Is that a spell pierce? Possibly. So let's not play into the spell pierce. We could go Bloodstained Mire or Sunbay Canyon and possibly sack it. Let's just play the Bloodstained Mire and pass. Opponent shocks in another land, casts a Birthing Ritual, that's fine. Possibly a Simic Ritual deck. Novice Inspector. Let's cast that. Could have a Subtlety. Let's just get rid of one of the clues. Force of Negation, okay. Pitching a Flood Pits Drowner. Yes, this seems to be that Simic Ritual deck. Let's just swing and pass. Opponent is a 13. Go for an Oracle. Find a Flare of Denial. They could counter our spells now. They do sack the Oracle, find a Quaddle. They're drawing a card. Find a Warden. Let's see if that sticks. They Flare of Denial? No, they don't. So we could go Loxodon now. Is that useful? Could also start pumping the Warden. They likely won't block because they want to keep the Quaddle. Let's see what we draw off the Sunbay Canyon. Gleeful Demolition. Yeah, let's activate Warden. Draw a Knight Errant, that's good. We will Gleeful Demolition, they will counter this likely. Force of Negation again. Pitching a Flare of Denial. That's fine by me. Nice 2-for-1. We will pass. Opponent is fetching. A snow-covered forest, and they have a Dismember going down to 8. Cast a Shardless Agent. Find another Birthing Ritual. That's not good news for us. You're likely to find that Oculus. There it is. They find an Ice Fang. They get to Manifest Dread. So I think we'll go Knight Errant. And then try to pick up more creatures, possibly a Bushwacker. They Subtlety the Knight Errant. Pitching another Subtlety. Empty-handed now. That's good. Let's bottom this and pass the turn. Swing with everything, down to 6. Have another Birthing Ritual. This is probably game. Find another Oculus. Yeah, there's nothing we could do. Let's concede. Yeah, it's unfortunate. They disrupted our hand quite a bit. We will board in the Containment Priests. The Wear Tears. Go down on the Loxodons. Could board in the Silences. I'd rather not. I think. Go down 1 Memnite, 1 Novice. Submit. On the play again. Let's keep this. Good Warden. Memnite Ornithopter. Try to find another land. That's not another land, we will bottom that. Opponent plays a Hedge Maze, keeps their card on top. That's not another land either. Could Rebirth and get in for 3. Or if 2 more activations at Warden, I think we should do that. That's a land. Are we going Epic here or Rebirth? Probably rebirth the Memnite. See whether that works. Yep. Activate the Warden again. Still keep the land on top and pass. Gotta activate Warden one more time to be out of dismember range. Opponent doesn't play anything. Let's activate the Warden. See whether that resolves. Yup. Bushwacker is good. Let's keep that. So we have a flyer with vigilance now. Oh. Should have fetched first, of course. That's kind of a punt. Otherwise we would have had a Bushwacker. Shock this in. Misclicked, so we're going to combat. They might flash in a Quaddle. Yep, doesn't really matter then. They just jump block. It's fine. Yep. Could go Epicure. Could subtlety this. If they don't, ping them for one, go Knight Errant. Might sink into stupor the Warden. Just tap the clue, the blood. Epicure. Containment Priest, that's pretty good. Against the birthing ritual, and then tap the rest. Okay, pass. Fiddle tip. Okay, they draw a card and that's it. Containment Priest is good. I think we should just go Knight Errant, see what happens. Thraben, Epicure, Goblin Token, Ornithopter, Goblin Token, Flare of Denial this, okay. That's fine, we'll just pump the Warden even more. Have our Containment Priest up. Another land. Nope. Just swing. Could crack the clue if they don't play much. Opponent takes 8 and fetches down to 10. We'll surveil. Could play a Harbinger. Yeah, we're fetching right away. Get a basic island. There's an Oculus. That is good, that's fine. I think. So we'll just sack this clue, draw a card. Another Containment Priest. They get to manifest red. What do we draw? Arid Mesa. I think we could just keep pumping here. Goblin Token. Goblin Token. Goblin Token. An Ornithopter, let's bottom that. Just swing for 9. Opponent has to block. They just scoop it up, okay. Yeah, let's run it back. This we won't keep. This is a 1-lander. Also have a Bushwacker. Yeah, let's try. Find a Gleeful Demolition, that's good. We'll go after the Memnite. They might force this. They're going to fetch basic forest and dismember. Okay, dismember on the Memnite. Our spell fizzles. Opponent down to 15. Another land would be great. They shock in Ace of Oryx Springs. That's another land. Let's cast the Novice Inspector. Get a clue. Could hold on to the Containment Priest, but cast the Thraben. Pass the turn. There's a Quaddle. Maybe we should have held on to the Containment Priest. If they have a Birthing Ritual now, it would be pretty bad for us. They don't, okay. Let's just swing. We will win this race. What are they doing? Do we have a Brazen Borrower in hand? They attack us and pass. Then we will just crack a clue. A Petty Theft. The other clue token, that's fine. We have some hate against a Birthing Ritual. Could cast a Warden and start pumping it. Yeah, let's try that. We need some insurance against an Oculus. Then we will just activate it. Containment Priest, no. We need another land. Let's pass. Dismember again. Opponent down to 6. Sure. Oracle, okay. Find an Oculus. They don't have enough cards in the yard. They pass. We find another Warden. Yeah, let's cast it. A Flare of Denial it. That's fine. Then we will just start swinging. Is our opponent blocking here? Ah, they could cast the Oculus now. Let's cast the Epicure, ping them. Next turn we could kick the Goblin Bushwacker. And then have lethal. There's Oculus. Yep, that's fine. We will kick our Goblin Bushwacker. We might have a subtlety though. Pick up another creature. Let's go Memnite. Kick our Goblin Bushwacker. Does this resolve? They have a Flare of Denial going after the Oculus. This is great. Yeah, let's still swing. Might have another Oculus under the Manifest, but... Okay, opponent down to 2. We have a Birthing Ritual, which is useless. Yep, opponent concedes. This could be a turn 2 Loxodon. Is that good enough? Now let's keep. It's a bit vulnerable to disruption. Hopefully no Thoughtseizes. Go Bloodstain, Mire, and pass. Spire of Industry, Bauble. Affinity, Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. That's it, alright. Get our Sacred Foundry tapped. And they bobble us, that's fine. Reading the card, probably has some text on it. They draw a card. An Epicure. So let's cast the Epicure, ping our opponent. Ornithopter. Ornithopter. Memnite. Spiring Vantage. Loxodon. Give our creatures +1/+1. And pass the turn. If we could pick up a Bushwacker, that would be great. Otherwise we just start hitting them. Opponent has another Spire of Industry. Cast the Tameo. Losing 1 life in the process. They pass. Alright, we find a Gleeful Demolition. I think we should just swing, swing, swing. Swing with the Ornithopter too, just maximize the damage. Okay. Take 9 damage. Will Gleeful Demolition this thing here. Gain a few more tokens, play this tapped and pass. Opponent cannot really attack with the Tameo. And then they would lose on the backswing. Cast a Mox Opal. Saga, sure. Should have just attacked with the other Ornithopter as well. Okay, opponent scoops. So we're definitely bringing in the wear tears. Relic warders, a bit on the slow side. Might be good against the sagas though. Silence. We do increase our curve too much, I think. Sort of have to raise them. Before they have a Kappa Cannoneer out. Gleeful Demolition also works against their artifacts. I think we will go down one Novice Inspector, one Loxodon. And Memnite. Submit. This is a one-lander, but we have a Warden turn 1, so let's keep. Opponent plays an island and Tameo, sure. Find a Memnite. Fetch and shock. Go Ornithopter. Ornithopter. Memnite. Warden. Now we can hold our Warden up as a possible blocker. Tap these three here. See what we get. Epicure, no, we want land. Find a Mox Opal. Play a Razor Tide Bridge tapped and they cast an Emery. That's pretty good. What do they find? Portable Hole. So we lose our Warden next turn. No land. I think we should just activate the Warden. That's land. We will rebirth the Memnite. Activate the Warden again. This forces them to use their portable hole on the Warden. That's the land that we need. We have a 4/5 flying creature with vigilance. Opponent down to 16. We could block the Tameo. But they likely go portable hole. Opponent is trying to block our flyer. Mox Opal is online, by the way. Forgot about that. Because Razor Tide Bridge is an artifact. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. Hopefully no Saga. Yep, portable hole. As expected. That's fine. Opponent might start. Ah, there's Saga. Probably attack with Tamio and try to flip it. Saga's bad news for us. Kappa Cannoneer. Alright. This is probably game. To find a land. So we could go Novice Inspector, Warden. And then Knight Errant. Let's go. Warden. Do we want to activate the Warden? 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we'll first go Knight Errant. Tapping the Novice Inspector, Goblin token, another Goblin token, and Ornithopter, another Ornithopter. Let's see what we get. If we get a Bushwacker, we could survive. A Loxodon and a Thraben. Another Knight Errant. Not sure if we can stay alive for that long. Guess the Loxodon is nice. Another Knight Errant, why not? Okay, now we will activate the Warden. So Thraben, let's bottom that. Pass. Opponent might flip Tamio now. Kind of sabotages our plan of a kicked Goblin Bushwacker. Guess the Haywire might play a land. One card in hand. I think we should just try pumping the Warden as quick as we can. Start swinging with the Knight Errant too. They likely get a Shadow Spear off the Saga next turn. We're down to 9. Next turn they could have lethal. That's a really good pickup. Are we going after the Saga? Probably. So when they create a construct token, we will destroy their Saga. I think we will tap the Warden too. So we will, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and we don't have enough to also go knight. So maybe let's first go knight. Let's go knight for 4. Don't really want to pump the ornithopters. Let's see. Find free creatures, which is good. Do we want to start pumping the Warden or just put the Venerated Loxodon in play? Ah, they have lethal already actually, because they can just attack with Tameo, create a construct. Yeah, I think we're dead already. Just activate Warden here. This is game. No, we don't need that. Go Venerated Loxodon. They will create the construct token at the end of turn. Kappa becomes an 8/8 and they only have to attack with their Tameo. I'm not sure if they see that line, but we'll see. Are they not creating a construct token? We have to cast Weird there. Yeah, now they are. Okay. I think this is game. Yeah, it's game for sure. Because they can just attack with their construct token. Yep, alright. So... board out one Ornithopter, board in the 4th Loxodon and submit. This is a keep. We'll shock in the Sacred Foundry, cast a Warden. Turn 2, go Memnite, Thraben, Knight Errant. Okay, pass. Darksteel Citadel, that's good to see, colorless. Lava Spur Boots, okay. Bobble. And an Opal, that's unfortunate. They Thoughtcast. Okay. Find a Bushwacker. So fetch and shock. Down to 15 here. Cast a Memnite. Cast a Thraben Inspector. So we could activate Warden. Then we cannot go Knight Errant. Can we? 1, 2, 3? No. So we just have to sack the clue here. Cast a Knight Errant. Convoke this. 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 And this. Might cast an Emery next turn and equip the Lava Spur boots. Find another Knight Errant. Just take the Ornithopter Epicure just to ping them. Cast the Ornithopter. If we could find another land, that would be great. Then they might be dead next turn. Ornithopter. One more point of damage. 1, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 19. We kind of have to keep this if we want to have lethal. But a land would be even better. Let's keep it on top. Just pass. Opponent could have a Metallic Rebuke. Cast a Tameo. 3 cards in hand. If they flip the Tameo, we're kind of screwed, like I said before. Then we will just start bumping the Warden, I guess, with our 1/1s. Opponent just passes. They might have a Metallic Rebuke up. We find an Ornithopter. Let's cast the Ornithopter. I think I'll just activate the Warden here. Novice Inspector, no. Let's cast the Epicure. Tap, tap. Tap. Epicure, no. Tap, tap. Tap. Knight Errant, nope. Swing. They might cast a Kappa Cannoneer next. If we could get this kicked Goblin Bushwacker to stick, then we likely win. They blocked the Warden with Tameo. Okay. Find a Saga. They could Kappa Cannoneer now. Not sure if they do so. Yep. Okay, that's game then. GG. Funny. Yeah, kick. And swing. GG.